And a very good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net for Wednesday, February 28th. Before we get started, do we have an emergency or a priority traffic for the net? This is Victor Echo 1, Juliet Bravo Lima. My name is Jim, and I'll be your net controller for tonight's net. This net meets every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Atlantic Time in the CQ Maritime's room 60207. The net is open to all amateurs in the Maritime provinces and is scheduled for 1 hour. The net is also streaming live on YouTube at Raw, VE1RMJ, so that everyone can follow the net and participate in the chat room. Amateurs will be called in by province. When you check in, please give us your call sign using proper phonetics. After the maritime stations are called in, stations from outside the area will get a chance to check in. A reminder, due to a delay in the system, key up for a second or two before transmitting and keep the PTT button on for a second or two after your transmission has finished. Break. Okay, before we get started, do we have any announcements for the net? Any announcements? Go ahead, please. No announcements, so first we'll call in any short-time stations that can't stick around for the net. So short-time stations or mobile stations that we may not be able to hear later down the road there. So short-time stations or mobile stations that would like to check into the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
Victor Alpha 1, Bravo India Lima.
November 1 Charlie Delta November.
Pure X-ray.
Okay, I got 3 stations there in the first round. I got VA1BIL, N1 CDN, and BE1FOX. Any other short time or mobile stations? Anytime short time or mobile stations? Go ahead, please.
Victor Echo 1 Juliet Sierra. Juliet Sierra.
Victor Echo 3, Alpha Charlie. VE3AC.
Okay, I got 2 more stations in there. I got John and Frank. So let's go to the top of the list here. VA1BIL, VE1JBL. Good evening, Bill.
VE1JBL, VA1DIL. Good evening, Jim, and everybody on the net. I don't really have much traffic here. Thanks for doing the net, Jim. 73, VA1DIL.
Yeah, okay, very good, Bill. Thanks very much for taking part there tonight, and have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now, and I assume you're at your home down in the Greenwood area there, so 7-3. N1 CDN, VE1 JBL down in Clearwater. Very good evening, Steve.
Good evening, Jim. And I'm in Seminole. I'm between Clearwater and St. Pete. But, yeah, you're pretty close. I think that dart will get you the 10 points. You might not get the bullseye. Not a whole lot to add. Nothing for the net. Just happened to be near the radio when the net started, and I just want to check in and say hi and let everybody know I'm still alive. And hopefully we'll be up this summer, probably sometime in July, maybe around the Canada Day weekend. So with that, Jim, back to you. Good net, and have a great evening. VE1JBL N1 CDM.
Yeah, okay, very good, Steve. Thanks very much, and I look forward to maybe hearing you while you're up here this summer here. So, very good. Thanks very much for taking part tonight, 7-3. VE1FOX, VE1JBL. Good evening, Curtis.
This is Victor Echo 1, Juliet Bravo Lima with the Maritime Fusion Net. Victor Echo 1, Foxtrot Oscar X-ray here in 3 Mile Plains. Good evening to you, Jim. Good evening to all the other operators going to be on. Well, we're only getting in short time here because I'll tell you right now, the wind out there is crazy here. The rain is weird, and holy moly, I don't know if we're going to keep our power or not. So I figured I better jump in early tonight so I can get through. Anyway, Jim, that's about it. Like you say, she rained mostly all day, and them winds was terrible, and they were wicked right down and just howling around here, so maybe I'll have to crawl underneath the bed with my pillow. I don't know. Anyway, Jim, thanks for calling me in, and thanks for doing the net there for sure. So we'll give it back to you. Victor Echo 1, Juliet Bravo Lima. With the Maritime Fusion Net, Victor Echo 1, Foxtrot Oscar X-Ray here in 3 Mile Plains, Hants County. Back to you, Jim.
Yeah, okay, very good, Curtis. Yeah, it's been windy here all day, and it really poured rain here this afternoon. I was in town and got quite wet there in the Amherst area there, and it's still quite breezy there. And it's supposed to really pick up tonight. They were saying that we haven't really got most of it yet, so I guess overnight we're supposed to get it. We had a lot of thunder lightning last night. I was really surprised it woke me up there at 4:30 there this morning there, and the lightning was some strong. And thundered for, 15 minutes. Then we had a real dumping of rain, and then about 15 minutes later, it all stopped and went away again. So, but imagine thunder lightning in the end of February there. That was quite something. Anyways, very good, Ferris. Thanks very much for coming in. Have yourself a great evening there, 7-3 for now. Let's go down to Sandy Cove and see John, BE1JS, BE1JBL.
Everyone, JBL on the net, B1JS, Sandy Cove down on Dingy Neck. Quite blustery down here at the moment, Jim. Temperature still 12 degrees. Barometer's going down like a stone. And we had 26.7 millimeters of rain today. But she's really a blowing. And we too had a thunderstorm last night about 1 o'clock. It was rumbling and flashing and banging around here. And quite loud. I got up and disconnected everything. Anyway, thanks for doing that. Thanks for calling me, and I look for you again next week. V1JBL on the net, V1JS, 7-3.
Yeah, okay, very good, John. Good at everything there. Yeah, looks like pretty well everybody got that storm sometime through the night there. I've heard different stories there about different times it was going through different areas there. So very good. Thanks, John, for coming in. Have yourself a great evening, 7-3 for now. Let's go up to Sudbury and see Frank, BE3AC, BE1JBL.
JBL, Victor Echo 3 Alpha Charlie. Well, good evening to you fine gentlemen up there in the Maritimes. And I tell you, today was a weird weather day. During the evening, during the night, we had rain, and around 5:30, lightning and thunder and the whole bit. I tell you, it was something else. It was the lightning woke me up, and then the thunder was like a 3-minute roar right afterwards. And then later on in the afternoon, actually early morning, maybe around 11, or late morning, around 11, the temperature dropped quite substantially. That we ended up getting snow, blowing snow, and right now it's minus double digits right now. So everyone was told to stay at home and not go traveling out if unnecessarily. In fact, school buses and everything were shut down first thing this morning. But anyways, some weird weather. Anyways, it was nice being able to send that WinLink contact to you, so it was nice. And actually, if you have my number, could you give me a call after the net or whenever you're not busy? I'd like to ask you a couple of questions. But anyways, with that, I'll send it back to you, Jim. V1JBL, Victor Echo 3 Alpha Charlie, 73s.
Yeah, okay, very good, Frank. Good and everything there. Yeah, I was going to say thanks for sending the WinLink message for exercise handshake there last night. Yeah, we ended up with a dozen messages there in all different forms for WinLink there. So it worked out well there last night there, and so thanks for sending thanks for sending that. Yeah, I'll send you an email after the net is well. I may be a little busy here tonight, Frank, but I'll get around to you there. I'll write something down here. I'll send something off to you there after there. So very good and everything there. Okay, very good. Thanks very much for everything. Thanks very much for taking part in that there, 7-3 for now. Okay, we'll take one more quick round for anybody who has to get away early or mobile stations. Any mobile station or anybody got to get away early? Yeah, we'll take one more round here. This is VE1JBL, net control for the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
Victor Yankee 2, Golf.
Okay, George, you're all by yourself there, VY2GF, VE1JBL, and I got your information about the other class. So I think we only need one more class to fill things up, George. And but I think starting the 1st of March, which is only on Friday, I'm going to send out the registration form for SMART and get that started. We're about 2 months late on the registration form, so I think on the 1st of March, whether we got the last class filled or not, I'm going to send out the registration form to everybody there. So for SMART there. Anyways, come on in, VY2GF, VE1JBL.
Never and thank you for doing it. We'll probably
VY2GF, VE1JBL. You were quite broken up going into the repeater there, George. Might be conditions or whatever there, but I didn't get too much of that transmission. Try one more time. Nope, I guess he's not getting a good feed into the net there tonight there. Very good. Okay, we're at the bottom of the list here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start calling in the provinces now for the net here. So we'll start with Prince Edward Island. Any stations from Prince Edward Island that would like to check into the Maritime Fusion Net? This is your time. Go ahead, please. Nothing here from VEI, so let's move into Nova Scotia. Stations from Nova Scotia that would like to check in the Maritime Fusion Net. Call sign here is VE1JBL. Name here is Jim, and the NCO for this evening. So stations from Nova Scotia, first round. Go ahead, please.
Victor Echo 1, Julie Whiskey, V1JW. Victor Echo 1, Golf Uniform Yankee, VE1GUY.
Victor Echo 1, Charlie Bravo. Okay, 3 stations there so far. I got VE1JW, VE1GUY, and VE1 Charlie Bravo. Who else from Nova Scotia? Like to check in the Maritime Fusion Net. Stations from Nova Scotia only. Go ahead, please.
Victor Echo 1, India, Quebec.
Okay, Brian, I got you on the end there. Top of the list, VE1JW down in Kingston. VE1JBL, good evening, Eric.
Yeah, good evening, Jim and everybody. A good start going on there pretty so far. But anyway, nothing too exciting here today. Yes, well, I was out and had coffee with Bill, BIL, this morning. We had a nice coffee and chat. And talked to a couple other hams that were over there at the mall and a few other folks. And did a few errands and come home. And the afternoon just kind of relaxed and played on FT8 a little bit. Didn't find a whole lot of wood activity, but made a few contacts. But didn't find anything terribly interesting. But did play around and try to make a contact or two. So Other than that, just a quiet evening here, listening with interest. V1 JW, V1 or JBL, V1 JW.
Yeah, okay, very good. Very good. Everything there, and we're on FT8 there, so very good, very good. Okay, thank you very much, as usual, for coming in, and have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. Let's go all the way down and see Joe. VE1GY, VE1JBL.
VE1JBL, VE1GY. Good evening, Jim. Good evening to everyone here that's coming on to the Maritime Fusion Net here tonight. Yeah, no, wasn't too bad of a day here. Had some rain off and on. Never got no big amount of rain, 3.5 millimeters here. So, anyhow, there was a little clouds of thunder there at one point. And I better on what my antennas. I took all my antennas on, hooked them from my radios and things and my switches, and undone them. So I said, well, when I got ready to call my net, everything seemed like settled down. So I put it back in, so here they are. And yeah, we still got a little breeze going. Both have been up around 90 odd clicks today. I only showed 48 so far here. Of course, southerly winds out to the southern. I'm kind of like in a little bit in the lead where my wind gauge is on the house there, so I get that about 4 or 5 feet tall. And that's on a northern end, so it's got a baffle right across on the southern end, come across the whole house before. It gives a good swipe at it. But anyway, southerly winds, they don't seem to get a good lot of southerly winds here. I usually go by back row. That's what back row indicates how much it's going to be. And that's right out on the bleak, right out in the mouth of the wind, on the southerly wind. So. But anyway, other than that, everything's pretty good. I guess he's going to touch down the most around after midnight out in May. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Supposed to hit 114 kilometers, but if it stays like this, I'll be satisfied with it. See you later, V1GY.
Yeah, okay, very good, Joe. Yeah, it's supposed to, here anyway, it's supposed to change over snow about 6 a.m., so it must be going to drop here through the night, and then change over snow about 6 o'clock, and then be clear about 9 o'clock here, at 10 o'clock, so, and then it's supposed to be sunny the rest of the day tomorrow, so we're going to go back into the deep freeze here and get a little bit of snow to stick to all that water out there, and then it's going to go back into the deep freeze, so there we go, but I guess that's all part of it this time of year. Anyways, thanks, Joe, for coming in. Have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. VE1CB, VE1JBL, Claude, your signal is working fine there. Looks like everything's up and running.
Yeah, Roger, everything's A-okay here, Jim. Today I was up as far as Clare, taking way, and holy smoke, on the way up, it poured and poured, and we were there for, half hour, 45 minutes, and by the time we got back, I don't know, 5-10 miles out of Clare, the rain stopped, and pavement dried up, and there you go. We had a overcast, but not too bad of a day. There's one thing I'm going to ask. Does anyone in Nova Scotia that may have a spare power supply, if so, and you'd like to sell it, what would you ask for it? And that's all from here. VE1, Charlie Bravo. Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, okay, very good, Claude. I don't have an email address for you, Claude. I don't know if you have email or not there, but you may want to send me, may want to send me an email there. I can add you to the list there, and then if I get any information, I can definitely send it along there for sure. But anyways, well, of course, it's hard to say on a power supply, so it all depends how many amps that are in the power supply, and that's going to change the price on it. So it's hard to say what the price of power supplies are going to be, because you can get all ranges in power supplies there, Claude. So anyways, hopefully, if somebody has one for sale, I'll let them get in there right now. VE1 JBL standing by. And that Simon says that nobody has one right at the moment, Claude. But anyways, hopefully you'll get things fixed up there for sure. So anyways, thanks very much for coming in. Have yourself a great day. 7-3 for now. Brian, VE1IQ, VE1JBL, come on in.
VE1JBL, VE1IQ. Good evening, Jim, and all those on the net. Just sitting back, relaxing here, looking a little bit of TV or on my computer, I guess, and sort of looking at oddities here. Like a whole lot of traffic. Oddities here. They're calling U.S. in the Rockies, in the higher pass up there. They're calling for 10 feet of snow with 125-mile-an-hour winds. Compared to us here after tomorrow, we're looking for 5 days with no freezing. It's about freezing for the next 5 days after tomorrow. So it's quite a comparison. Thanks for calling me. Thanks. Evening. VE1 India Quebec.
Yeah, okay, very good, Brian. Yeah, that's quite a lot of snow and wind there. I wouldn't want to be shoveling a driveway out in that area there. That's for sure. Have enough to do here. But anyways, very good, Brian. Thanks very much, and have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. Okay, we've completed one round of Prince Edward Island, one round of Nova Scotia. Let's go to New Brunswick. Any stations from New Brunswick that would like to check in the Maritime Fusion Net? Stations from New Brunswick. Go ahead, please.
Victor Echo 9, Golf, Charlie.
Victor Echo 9, Mike Tango Victor, VE9 MTV.
Victor Echo 9, Oscar Sierra Kilo, V9 OSK.
VE1 Tango United.
VE1 Oscar Lima, VE1 OL.
Victor Echo 9, Papa Alpha Lima, V9 PAL.
Okay, that's a fine start there. I'll tell you what we have here. VE9 Golf Charlie, VE9 Mike Tango Victor, VE9 Oscar Sierra Kilo, Victor Echo 1 Tango United, Victor Echo 1 Oscar Lima, and Victor Echo 9 Papa Alpha Lima. Any other stations from New Brunswick or anybody that I missed? Stations from New Brunswick, go ahead, please.
Victor Echo 9, Charlie Echo Lima. Uniform Bravo.
Victor Echo 9, Golf Uniform Sierra.
Okay, got 3 more stations on there. I got VE9 CEL, VE9 CUB, and VE9 GUS. Top of the list. Gordon, very good evening. VE9 GC, VE1 JBL.
Well, good evening, Jim. VE1 JBL with the Wednesday night Maritime Fusion Net, VE9 GC. Sort of like everybody else that said things earlier this evening, wet one here today, breezy as well. I'm down on a bit of a hollow, so I don't get quite the wind that some people do, but it's been blowing around here pretty good, and it's a very reassuring sound to hear my sump pump running, because I'll tell you, the culvert at the front of the house is jam-packed full of water, so at least it's not coming in the basement this year. Anyway, no particular traffic. Just wanted to pop in and say good evening. Hope everybody has a good week. Well, happy hump day, and I hope the rest of the week goes well. And we'll look forward to checking into the net next Wednesday. VE1 JBL, VE9 and GC.
Yeah, okay, very good, Gordon. Good to hear you on there, and keep your fingers crossed that some pump keeps working there for sure. There, so I assume you have a backup. I have two of them down there. Each time there was one on sale, I said, oh, I got to get one of those. So I actually have two backup down in the basement there now. So there you go. Very good, Gordon. Thanks very much. Have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. Okay, let's go into Irishtown and see Mike, VE9MTV, VE1JBL. VE9MTV, VE1JBL. You there, Mike? You might have got a phone call or something. We'll move on. I'll get him back at the end here. Oscar, very good evening. How's things in the up there? VE9OSK, VE1JBL.
VE1 JBL, VE9 Oscar Sierra Kilo. Good evening, Jim, and everybody on the Fusion Net tonight. We're doing fine. A bit wet there, but that's not too bad. It's not shovelable material, so we're going to take it. And the temperature is really good there. We still got 8 degrees here. I know it's going to dip tonight there, but that's the yo-yo effect. No problem. Besides that, everything's going fine. Thanks for doing the net, and thanks for calling me in there, Jim. 730 from Dieppe, Victor Echo 9, Oscar Sierra Kilo on my node.
Okay, very good, Oscar. Good on everything there, and good coming in through your node there tonight. So very good, and thanks again for taking part in the net there tonight. 7-3 for now. Let's go up to Fredericton and see Dennis. VE1 Tango United, VE1JBL.
VE1JBL, VE1 Tango United. Good evening, Jim. Good evening to all on the net. Well, we had a very dull, overcast day here all day with a light rain. I didn't see any heavy rain. Wind was not too bad, but it sure took the snow off. It was about 11 degrees this afternoon, and the only snow left now is a little bit of ice along the gutters. Really cleaned it up. Otherwise, it's a very quiet day here. And VE1 BCL, I think, was the first one called in. I think you missed him, Jim. So that's all from here. Back to you. This is VE1 Tango United.
VE1 Tango United, VE1 JBL. Okay, very good, Dennis. Good on everything there, and thanks very much for letting me know that Steve was in there also. I've got him down here at the bottom of the list, so Steve, you are on the list there. So very good, Dennis. Thanks for everything here. Yeah, we still got quite a bit of snow here, although it has gone down quite a bit there, and my driveway is just a sheet of ice out there, so I can imagine after all this rain tonight and the freeze tomorrow that I'll probably take some skates out there and skate around there. But anyways, yeah. But anyways, very good, Dennis. Thanks very much for coming in. Have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. Let's go into Quiz Fam Consistency Aubrey, VE1OL, VE1JBL.
VE1OL. Hi, Jim, and everybody on the net tonight. And thanks for calling me in. I'm high on the hill here overlooking the Cannifications River, and so we really get the wind here when there is one. And boy, she's heavy today. And power went out a while ago, but came right back on again. But the internet went off, the whole works, but then it all came back, thank goodness. And but anyway, Daisy, my dog, is scared to death of it. She wants to go out and do her business, which she always does normally. Every time she goes out, a great big gust of wind or something, and she just comes carrying back with light in her eyes. And over and over again. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyway, the winds are really, really heavy duty here. I think it was forecast to reach maybe 100 kilometers in gusts tonight. So I hope we don't have any trees down or anything like that. Anyway, enough from me. Nice to hear everybody. Hi, Dennis there. And I'll turn it back to you, Jim. And VE1OL.
VE1OL, VE1JBL. Okay, very good. Aubrey, good and everything there. And poor Daisy there. I don't know, maybe take her out the other side of the house. Maybe it's not blowing on that side or something. But yeah, that's funny, that's for sure. But anyways, it's not as if it's the first time she's seen wind. So anyways, very good, Aubrey. Thanks very much for coming in there. Have yourself a great day in 7-3 for now. Okay, let's go back into I think Irishtown again. I think, if I'm not mistaken. VE9PAL, VE1JBL. Good evening, Paul.
Yeah, VE1JBL, this is VE9PAL. How you doing there, Jim, and everybody else on the net? Yeah, we got plus 10 here, and the snow's almost all gone. Starting to see the lawn in the back. That's a good thing. Well, you never know what could happen in March. I've seen it happen before. We could have a storm right straight through the end. Hope not, but anyway, it's winter still. Anyway, no, Mike, I think Mike was on the HF there, so he must be back by now. Anyway, you guys take care. V9PAL.
Yeah, okay, very good, Paul. Good and everything there. And Mike, yeah, I'm going to call you in at the end of the list here again here, so just hang in there. Okay, very good, Paul. Thanks very much, and have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. Let's go see Charles up in Cocaine. VE9CEL, VE1JBL. Come on in.
V1JBL, V9CL. Yeah, Cocaine usually, but I'm up in Edmonton again there this week. We finally placed my father into a home, and it took a while, but we finally went in there today. And I guess tomorrow my task is to see if I could find the frequencies. I'm going to bring him a radio because he's ham radio operator as well. So I'm going to bring the handheld and see which local repeater I can connect to from the senior home and see if I could program that easier for him. But anyway, that's what I'm up to, and nothing else to report. So I'll pass back to you, V1JBL, V9CL.
Yeah, okay, very good, Charles. Good on getting your father into a home up there. What's his call sign? What's his name and call sign there, Charles?
Yeah, the call sign is Victor Echo 1, Papa Lima. You got him in your email list. I notice he's receiving a lot of email from the Maritime Amateur email list there. And his name is Patrick, so Patrick Levasseur.
Oh, very good, Charles. Yes, I know Pat for sure there. Yes, I've emailed him many times. And I think way back into when I had the original Maritime Amateur website, he was one of the first people who had signed up for it way back when. And actually, Pat has actually taken part in Exercise Handshake different times over the years, too. So very good. Well, good and everything there. I'm glad you got him in there all right and get him hooked up there and he'll be able to get on the air there again. So very good. Thanks, Charles, for coming in and say hi, Pat, for me there. And we'll chat again for sure. 7-3, have yourself a great evening. VE9CUB, VE1JBL. Good evening, Don.
So now, Victor Echo 1, JBL, this is Victor Echo 9, Charlie Uniform Bravo here, and Don here in Moncton. No real traffic, Jim, just check in and say hi, say happy day, and hope everybody has a great Echo 1 JBL, this is Victor Echo 9, Charlie Uniform Bravo. I'm out here. Thanks, Jim, for doing the net and calling me in.
Yeah, okay, very good, Don. Well, thanks very much for taking part in the net. We do appreciate it there as usual, and have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. Okay, we'll stay in the Moncton area and talk to Gus. VE9GUS, VE1JBL. Come on in.
VE1 JBL, VE9 JOS in Moncton. Good evening, Jim. Good evening to everybody on the frequency. Not much traffic here, Jim. I just got back from Florida yesterday after the month of February, down in the Clearwater area. And I have to say, I wasn't terribly impressed with the weather down there. For the month of February, it was cold and raining, an awful lot of rain. It's just out of the ordinary for Florida. Florida's not normally like that. But anyways, something happened to it anyway, and gosh darn it, I had to be there at that time. So the last couple of days before I left, it started warming up. Wouldn't you know it? Anyway, I'm home now, and I'm glad to be home and settling down, and good to be able to check into the net. It looks like you're really having a lot of check-ins tonight. Anyway, Jim, take care of yourself. Thanks for calling me in. VE1 GBO, VE9 Golf Uniforms here on Moncton's Clear.
Yeah, okay, very good, Gus. Good on the trip to Florida there. Yeah, actually, I've been down to Florida twice, Gus. I went down, boy, that's going way back. In the 90s, I think, is when I went down there. I just went down by myself and stayed at a place in Treasure Island, is where I stayed the first time I went down there. And rented a car and drove around for 2 weeks while I was down there. I took all the attractions in SeaWorld and Busch Gardens and Cape Canaveral, and my best part about the whole trip was going down to the Keys. I really enjoyed going down to the Keys, out to Key West, and actually stayed out there one night overnight, and I thought that was fantastic. I really, have I ever said if I go back to Florida again, I'm going back to the Keys again. Actually, the second time I went down, Gus, I went down for Speed Week at Daytona, and stayed at a motel just north of Daytona there, rented a car, of course, for the week, and went back and forth to the races all week. And you're right, the weather was not the greatest. It was lucky to be in the 60s. And I went down to Daytona Beach, like where you drive along the beach there with your vehicle. Well, I was the only one on the whole beach. It was that cold. There was nobody except me and the seagulls were the only ones that were on the beach that day. So that's how cool it was. And it was cool at the racetrack for the week there. But anyways, the races were good, so I really enjoyed that. So that was my 2 trips down to Florida. And yes, it was cool. The only time of the 2 weeks that was really nice was when I was out on the Keys. I thought that was perfect out there. So anyways, thanks guys for coming in. Have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. And let's go back up to Fredericton and see Steve. I guess we missed you there, but your dad got you there. VE1 BCL, VE1 JBL. VE1 BCL, VE1 JBL. You in there, Steve? Not hearing you in there. How about you, Mike? VE9 MTV, VE1 JBL.
Yeah, VE1 JBL, VE9 MTV. Good evening, Jim. Good evening to Gordon and Dawn and everybody else checking in. Yeah, what happened when I keyed up my HF rig, it bumped me off the wires X there. It gave me a radio lockup. The RF was too strong and bumped me off, so I actually had to turn the power off of my radio. I couldn't unlock it, and then I had to log back in. So, yeah, but just as you were talking to the last station there, Gordon, they called me in on the Maritime Net, so the timing wasn't good there, Jim. Anyway, rain here most of the day, plus 10 till now, and although it doesn't show, we got about 6.6 millimeters of rain here, so not too bad. And it's a little bit windy though, but not too, around the 14, 15, 20 kilometers an hour there, so pretty good, Jim. Doing a good net there, and we shall say 7-3 to all. Be careful, because if it freezes up, it's going to be slippery. And have yourself a good net and a good week coming up, everybody. 7-3, VE1 JBL, VE9 MTV.
Yeah, okay, very good, Mike. Yeah, I figured that I thought maybe you got a phone call or something there, but I knew you'd be back, so I thought I'd call you in the end there. So very good, no problem at all there. Have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. And I'll call Steven again, see if he's there. VE1 VCL, VE1 Bravo Charlie Lima, VE1 JBL. You there? Okay, we're not hearing Steve in there, so that's the end of our first round. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go outside the Maritimes. So any stations from outside the Maritimes, that would like to check in the Maritime Fusion Net, this is your time. Call sign here is Victor Echo 1, Juliet Bravo Lima, VE1 JBL, and the name is Jim. Stations from outside the Maritimes. Go ahead, please.
Victor Echo 7, X-ray, X-ray.
Victor Alpha 6, Foxtrot Papa, VA6 FP.
Okay, I got two stations there. I got VE7XX and VA6FP. Any other stations from outside the Maritimes? I would like to check into the nets. Stations from outside the Maritimes only, please. Go ahead. Now the Earth will take these two stations, and this is a new one for me, Victor Echo 7 X-ray, X-ray. I got you up here, Martin. Very good evening, and you're coming from Pitt Meadows, BC. So you're going to have to fill me in on that one, where that's located. But VE7XX, VE1 JBL. Good evening, Martin.
Yeah, VE X-ray, X-ray. Yeah, it's Marty. That's short for Martin. And first time checking into this net. We listen quite often from out here. And yeah, we're out here on the west coast. I'm not too far from Vancouver. A little bit east of Vancouver here. We'd join our net tonight and just say a great hello to the west coast. Thank you very much for letting me come in. VE7XX.
VE7XX, VE1 JBL. Yeah, very good. Well, thanks very much for taking part in the net there tonight there. Yeah, we're here every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. I guess that's only 3 o'clock out your time there. But anyways, here each week here, so anytime you want to check in, by all means, come on in there. More the merrier, that's for sure. Anyways, thanks very much, and have yourself a great evening there. 7-3 for now. Let's go up into Alberta and see Francis, VA6FP, VE1 JBL. I'm looking at the thermometer, or I'm looking at the weather charts from west there, Francis. 1 day up, 1 day down, 1 day up, 1 day down. I think today it was like minus 16 or something out there. Come on in.
VE1 JBL for the Maritime Fusion Net from VA6FP in Wainwright, Alberta. Well, good evening to you, Jim, and everyone back home in the Maritimes. You got it. Weather is like a yo-yo, but at least it's not into the minus 40s for 10 days in January. Current temperature, as you mentioned, minus 16 degrees Celsius. With the wind chill, however, feels more like minus 26. And we did get some snow over the weekend, Sunday into Monday. Got about 14 centimeters, which was kind of nice. It's definitely needed to get some of that moisture in the ground. It's still quite dry. But at least we got some. Supposedly, we're getting some snow tomorrow. And the temperature's going up to that big old donut, 0 degrees Celsius, so that's not too bad. Going to drop down overnight and be about the mid-teens, I guess, for the rest of the weekend and into early next week. So we'll take her as she comes. We can't do much about it, and we might as well grin and bear it. But hopefully we'll get some more moisture because I'm getting a little nervous there what the spring could hold for us again. Other than that, Jim, we're going to be absent from the Maritime Fusion Net, as we let you know. We're going to be away for about 3 weeks. And we'll definitely try to get back in here once we get back to the shack and things turned on again. So keep our fingers crossed. Hope everyone has a great remainder of their week and a super fine weekend. Thanks for calling us in and doing the net. Looking forward to hear you next time we get to check into the Maritime Fusion Net. We'll say 7-3 all around. VE1JBL from VA6FP.
Yeah, okay, very good, very good, Francis. Good and everything there. And yeah, the weather is a yo-yo. Well, you know yourself from the Maritimes here. The weather is like a yo-yo down here too. One day cold, one day warm. And today it was +9. Other places have been up to +12, stuff like that. But we're supposed to be this time tomorrow night -15. So there you go. And then again, I think in the next couple of days after that, it's supposed to mild up and be +10 again, Francis. so it just keeps going up and down. That's for sure. So I guess that happens pretty well everywhere there. But anyways, nothing you can do about it. That's the way it is. So very good, Francis, and have a good vacation there for sure, or wherever you're away there. And we'll see you when you get back there. So have yourself a great evening there. Okay, with that, we're at the bottom of the list, so what we're going to do is we're going to start round 2 of the Maritime Fusion Net, round 2 of the Maritime Fusion Net, and we're going to call in, of course, Prince Edward Island first. So any stations from Prince Edward Island that would like to check into the Maritime Fusion Net, second round from PEI stations, go ahead, please. Okay, nobody from Prince Edward Island, so let's move into Nova Scotia. Second round from Nova Scotia. Stations from Nova Scotia. I'd like to check in the Maritime Fusion Net. Stations from Nova Scotia. Go ahead, please.
VE1 Foxtrot Sierra Mike. November. Victor Echo 1. Whiskey India, November.
Victor Echo 1, Charlie Bravo, a recheck light.
Victor Echo 1, Lima Alpha Uniform.
Okay, I got some and I lost some when the station started to come in for some reason. Oh well, I know what reason why, but I don't know why it went over there. The ID for the analog side of the Amherst repeater came up, and it actually took me right off of the digital side here. So I'm not sure why that happened. I've never had that happen before. So I probably missed a couple of stations there by the time I got it back onto the digital side. So I'll tell you who I have here now, and then you can fill me in who I missed. I have VE1FSM, VE1WIN, VE1CB with a recheck, and VE1LAU. Who did I miss?
VE1 Kilo Echo Victor.
Okay, I got you, Kevin. I thought I might have missed a couple stations there. Okay, and any other stations from Nova Scotia? This is the second round. Stations from Nova Scotia. One more time. Go ahead, please.
Victor Echo 1 Alpha Bravo Archer Mobile. Victor Alpha 3 Echo Golf Ontario. Darren.
Okay, I got a guy in there, VE1 ABX Mobile, and I got a VA3 EGG. So I think the mobile station's first, Guy, and maybe you can let me know where you're at from coast to coast there. The VE1 ABX Mobile, VE1 JBL.
Yeah, good evening, Jim. 7-3 Golf. Yeah, we're sitting in Stony Creek, Ontario. Went from about -2 to -2. Got a little bit of snow flurries on the go here. Nothing serious, but anyway, we're supposed to be heading east there, Jim. Don't know if I'm on the load tonight or tomorrow, and but we are headed for home. So anyway, we'll look forward to a few days off. It's been a long month, but anyway, we'll share back.
sure back to you, Jim, net control. And thank you for doing the net and calling us in. Back to you, Jim. V1 ABX.
Yeah, okay, very good, guy. VE1 ABX, VE1 JBL, good on being at Stony Creek there and heading east there. So good stuff. We'll probably hear you on the air then in the next couple of days there. So good stuff and safe driving as usual, guy. And between all these mild ups and freeze ups and everything, you just never know when you're going to get a piece of black ice there. So just be careful there for sure. Anyways, thanks for coming in. Have yourself a great night. 7-3 for now. Claude with a recheck, VE1CB. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Wasn't getting on. My email, if you got a pencil handy, my call sign at yahoo.com.
Okay, very good, Claude. I got that down there, and I'll get that in my books there. And if I hear anything, I'll let you know there for sure. There, very good. Thanks again. Appreciate it. 7-3. Let's go to the top of the list. Where was the top of the list here? Right here under Francis. VE1 FSM in Amherst. VE1 JBL. Good evening, Frank.
VE1 JBL, VE1 Foxtrot Sierra Mike. Good evening, Jim. Good evening to everybody else on net tonight. And yep, I'm just getting ready to head out the door to walk the dog and then go get myself some supper, I guess. Been a long day. Anyway, Jim, no real traffic, more or less just popping in, say hello, and give me a mark for the book. So back to you, VE1 JBL, VE1 Foxtrot Sierra Mike.
Yeah, okay, good, Frank. Thanks very much for taking time to check in there tonight there. And, yeah, go take the puppy for a walk there. So have yourself a great evening. And 7-3 for now. Okay, let's go down and see Peter. VE1 WIN, VE1 JBL. VE1 WIN, VE1 JBL.
Jim, I'll be in and out. Have a great night. VE1, we're heading back to the phone call.
Okay, very good, Peter. Thanks very much for taking part. To get you in here, 7-3. Have yourself a great evening. VE1 LAU, VE1 JBL. Good evening, Lori.
Well, good evening, Jim. Everyone on frequency there, just sitting back here listening to your net there. Seems to be going real well for you this evening. Just wanted to give you another mark for your book there. 7-3, Jim, you have a good day, and good evening to Kevin there coming up behind me, VE1 LAU.
Yeah, okay, very good, Lori. Good on everything there. Radio sounding good there, Lori, so all is working well. Thanks very much for taking part tonight there, and 7-3. And yes, speaking of Kevin, let's bring him in there. VE1 KEV, VE1 JBL.
Yeah, very good evening, Jim. VE1 JBL for the Wednesday Night Fusion Net. VE1 KEV. Very good evening, and good evening to Frank going out the door, and good evening, very good evening to Lori there as well. Nice to hear you, Lori. Sounding good there. And Peter and all the rest of the gang there that checked in with you there tonight, Jim. Got a great sounding net there going on, that's for sure. They like still quite mild, eh? It's +9 here, and a little bit of rain, I guess. We just got to run out and grab our milkshakes from McDonald's. I guess they have the luck of the Irish milkshakes, the Shamrock shakes. So hopefully the machine isn't broken, and Judy's buying, so I'm all there. And we got to pick up Lily there as well from work, I guess. So, and I'm sure she'll want one too. The first one of the year, so it's always a fun time. Anyway, we went over to Sackville there as well and got our massage in. That was quite nice. That was first time for me. And certainly worked out some kinks, that's for sure. So I really look forward to the next one there too. So That's it from here, buddy. Thank you very much for doing the net, and thanks for calling us in. Everybody all have a great evening there, and happy hump day, and have a great rest of the week. VE1 JBL from VE1 Kilo Echo Victor. 7-3.
Yeah, okay, very good, Kevin. Good and everything, and the milkshake there. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan there. Where does she work? Is working at McDonald's, Kevin? I think you told me before where she was working. I'm not sure if it was McDonald's or not.
No, over at the Superstore. She's in the bakery there. She'll decorate a cake for you there. Over.
Oh, very good. Okay. Somebody, maybe it was Mike. Maybe Mike Emery's daughter. Maybe she works there. I know somebody's daughter that Emery operator works at McDonald's there, or did work at McDonald's. But anyways, okay, very good, Kevin. Good on the cake. Well, we just got one. I just got one for Wendy here not too long ago, and I told the girl, I said I want it to be colorful. Well, boy, it was so colorful. And very well done. So maybe she did it there. So good stuff for sure. Okay, very good, Kevin. Thanks very much for coming in. Have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. And I got a VA3EGG. I looked it up here, and it looks like Darren. And Darren looks like he's from Mississauga. So, Darren, VA3EGG, VE1JBL. Very good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net.
All right, thanks, Net Control Jim and everybody else. Yep, you got everything correct. I'm about 30 kilometers west of downtown Toronto, thank God, and I am in Mississauga. The weather here today was really, really windy. I mean, really windy, but came in waves. So we had lots of wind here today, and we had hail yesterday and stuff, but it seems to be calming down. So anyway, I think it's maybe my first time checking in, so I was just going around and I heard you guys, so I just want to check into the, I guess you said the Maritime Net. So this is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Golf. Back to net, and I have nothing to add, just some numbers for you, okay?
VA3EGG, VE1J. Well, yeah, very good there. Well, thanks, Sarah, very much for taking part in the net there tonight. Yeah, this net's on every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Atlantic time there, 6 o'clock your time there. And yes, it's the Maritime Fusion Net, and it takes in all 3 maritime provinces here, Darren. There's probably over 20 repeaters connected here, all throughout the Maritimes here, so you're being heard in the all 3 maritime provinces. And even when the net's not on, Darren, this room is always connected. There's always 7 repeaters that are connected. Fredericton, Moncton, Amherst, Charlottetown, Greenwood, Yarmouth, and Halifax. So anytime you're on this room, Darren, you're being heard in all 3 maritime provinces. So it's a good setup here, and everybody seems to like it there. So good on everything. And yeah, the only time I was in Mississauga, Darren, was, boy, I was going to say back in the 90s. We went on a ball hockey championship. The ball hockey championships were being held in Mississauga, and we were representing, actually we were representing New Brunswick, not Nova Scotia, because we were playing in the New Brunswick League. And we won the league and ended up representing New Brunswick up at the ball hockey championships, the Canadian ball hockey championships in Mississauga. So we were up there for a week, and my brother lives in Holland Landing, north of Toronto there, and I drove back and forth each day from the rink in Mississauga back to his place there. But we played 3 games. We didn't do well, but it was a lot of fun, that's for sure. And I'm sure the city of Mississauga has grown big time since the 90s, because I've seen some pictures of Mississauga lately, and I just can't get over the size of the buildings and everything that are in Mississauga now. So it's really taken a spurt, especially from the 30 years since I've been there. So it's a big city there for now. Anyways, Aaron, thanks very much for coming in, and by all means, drop in again there for sure. And always nice to hear people from outside the area there. 7-3 for now. Okay, with that is the second round of PEI in Nova Scotia. So we're going to go back into New Brunswick. So the second round of New Brunswick, stations from New Brunswick. I would like to check into the Maritime Fusion Net. Stations from New Brunswick. Go ahead, please.
Victor Echo 9, November Alpha, VE9NA.
Victor Echo 9, Alpha India, VE9AI.
Okay, that's a good start. I got 3 stations that time, and I probably missed a couple. VE9NA, VE9AI, and VE9CGL. Who did I miss from New Brunswick? Second round. Well, I did better than I thought. I didn't miss anybody. Let's go to VE9NA Nelson up in Bucktush. Come on in.
Yeah, good evening, Jim. Good evening to everyone on the net. Wow. It's raining a bit here, Jim. I don't know about your way, but it's raining a bit, and temperature is plus 9.6. And, wow. We didn't do too much today. We fixed the power saw. Sometimes down the road we might go back in the wood. There's not that much. The snow is almost all gone here. A patch here and there. So, like today wouldn't be a pretty good day because it's kind of soggy. But anyway, down the road it's supposed to freeze up again. So we might go if it does. Thanks for doing the net, Jim, and call me in, and we'll turn it back to you. VE1JBL with the Fusion Net from VE9NA.
Okay, very good, Nelson. Good on everything. Yeah, between the mild temperatures and the wind, boy, that can really knock that snow down in a hurry there for sure. So, anyways, good to hear you in there tonight. Thanks very much for taking part, and have yourself a great evening. Let's go up to Fredericton and see Gary, VE9AI, VE1JBL.
VE1JBL, VE9AI. Still hoarse from the cold I had, but we're in Ormuckler tonight, babysitting a dog. But I don't know whether the power went off or not. I got cameras in the house and outside, and they all seem to be offline. So anyway, the wind is blowing and it's raining here. So anyway, not much else new, I guess. So we'll pass it back to you. Everyone have a great week. VE9AI.
Yeah, okay, very good, Gary. Good, everything there. Yeah, that may have been what happens there. I have seen that happen to my cameras there also. When the power goes out there and comes back on there, they need. They don't. I don't know. They don't seem to really need to be. I guess it just tells me that they've been off. I guess more than anything else there, but they do come back on. Anyways, very good, Gary. Thanks very much, and have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. Okay, let's go up to St. Andre and see Germain, VE9CGL, VE1JBL. Come on in.
Good evening, Jim, and everybody else on the Maritime Fusion Net. I've got nothing to report. Got a little wind, a lot of wind today, and some rain, and it's still raining a little bit. +8 over here in St. Andre Grand Falls. Have a nice net. Have a nice rest of the evening. And 7-3 from VE9 Charlie Golf Lima.
Yeah, okay, very good, Germain. Thanks very much for coming in there tonight. There, really appreciate it there, and have yourself a great evening. 7-3. Okay, with that, we've completed 2 rounds of the Maritimes and 1 round from outside the Maritimes. So all we're going to do now, where it's 5 after 8, is we're just going to open it up for anybody anywheres. Anybody anywheres, inside or outside the Maritimes. I would like to check into the Maritime Fusion Net. Call sign here is Victor Echo 1, Juliet Bravo Lima, VE1JBL, and my name is Jim, located in just outside of Amherst, Nova Scotia here. So anybody from anywheres, I would like to check into the Maritime Fusion Net. This is your time. Come on in.
Victor Echo 3, X-Ray India Delta, VE3XID.
Okay, I got VE3XID. Anybody else from anywheres? Anybody else from anywheres? Like check in on that. Go ahead, please.
Victor Echo 1, Charlie Lima Bravo.
Victor Echo 1, Delta Echo Sierra. I tried a little while ago and it got stepped up. B1DES.
VE1 Charlie Lima Bravo. VE1 CLB.
B. So let's go to the top of the list and see Jim up in Cornwall, Ontario. VE3XID, VE1 JBL. Come on in.
Okay. Good evening, Jim, and everyone on the Maritime Fusion Net. And, it's currently 7 degrees with a wind chill of 3, raining. We had a heck of a wind here earlier today, but it has subsided. It's only about 30 kilometers an hour out of the southwest now, gusting up to 44. But overnight, we are going to dive. It should go down to minus 11. And anybody on the 401 tomorrow is going to definitely have to watch out for that black ice, because I think that that's going to be the worst calamity on that road. So other than that, not much else going on, and nice to hear everybody on here. So we'll say 7-3 and good evening to everyone, and we'll look forward to you on the next week. So back to you, Jim. VE1 JBL, VE3 X-ray India Delta.
Yeah, okay, very good, Jim. Good at everything there. Yeah, a lot of people just think they can still do 120 on the 401 there, and everything is fine, but they fast find out that it's not that good, that's for sure. But anyways, very good, Jim. Thanks very much for checking in there, and have yourself a great day. 7-3 for now. Okay, VE1CLB, VE1JBL, and VE1CLB is Cliff down in Winchport. And I don't think I hear you too often in here, Cliff, but come on in.
VE1 JLB. I think I got that right, Jim. VE1 Charlie Lima Bravo. Yeah, sometimes I forget about the net, but I'm in here tonight. I was just here perusing YouTube. Something I've wanted to get for a long time, and I think I'm finally going to get one. One of them little Raspberry Pi computers. So a friend down this way has had one for a year. He really likes it. So we'll give it a whirl. Otherwise than that, that's about it. Nothing else new and exciting. The VE1 JBL, the E1 CL, and a V.
VE1CLB, VE1JBL. Yeah, very good, Cliff, and good on the hot spots there. Yeah, there's a lot of those around, that's for sure. So I'm sure somebody will be able to help you out there, get it hooked up. And there's a little learning curve to those things, but once they're up and running, they're fine there. So hopefully you'll get that up and running and enjoy it for sure there. So very good. Thanks, Cliff, for coming in. Have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. And let's go down to Yarmouth and see Don. VE1DES, VE1JBL.
JBL, V1DES. Hey, Jim. Hey, you're doing the net quite often. Pretty good at it. I guess experience makes you better. Anyway, a lot of wind here. Quite a bit of rain. It's supposed to be a little bit worse around midnight. So we'll see what develops. I'm just hoping the power doesn't go up. That's the main thing when that happens. Can't do it, really. And years ago when I was quite a bit younger, I lived up in Ontario around the 401. Back in the days, you know, Volkswagen Beetle. You're going down the highway and the transport go by and flip over on their top, just like a turtle. And back to the next. Yes.
Yeah, okay, very good, Don. Good and everything there. And, yeah, that's right. Go down the highway there. Those big trucks going by. Very good. Thanks, Don, for coming in, and have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. Okay, with that, we're going to say it is 10 after 8, so we're going to make this the last call. This will be the last call for the Maritime Fusion Net for Wednesday, February 28th, which is usually the last day of the month, but it is leap year this year. So we got one more day to go in February there before we get into March there. And, of course, next week, Mike, VE9MTV, will be doing the Maritime Fusion Net. He'll be doing the bilingual net next Wednesday night there. So, saying all that, this is going to be the last call for the Maritime Fusion Net. Anybody from anywhere that would like to check into the Maritime Fusion Net, last call. Go ahead, please.
Victor Echo 1, Charlie Alpha.
Okay, I got Robert in there, VE1 Charlie Alpha. Anybody else? This is the last call. Okay, Robert, I guess you're putting the top on it and doing up the bow there. So very good evening. How did the live feed there go tonight? VE1 Charlie Alpha and from VE1 JBL.
Hello, VE1C. Good evening to you, Jim, and all those on frequency. Yeah, I hope your net was going well. I was only able to start catching near the end. Busy evening here this evening. The live stream looks like it's going well. I've had to move to my Windows 10 because the cable I have, the chipset drivers aren't supported in Windows 11. There's some workarounds I'm looking at, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, I'm using another computer here to make it happen this week. Last week, it was kind of a surprise realization because my laptop upgraded to Windows 11, and I forgot all about it not being compatible. So there we go. Anyway, I won't keep it. I know you're closing down things, so hopefully you had lots of check-ins there this evening, Jim. And with that, the winds out there are pretty strong, and the rains were coming down a bit ago. So hopefully we're not in for too much of a storm there, but definitely keep your backups ready. Anyway, 7-3 there, Jim, and have a good evening. V1JBL, VE1CA.
Yeah, okay, very good, Robert. Yeah, no problem at all there. Good to have you on board there again tonight there for sure. And by the way, I've got the delivery thing is coming here from DHL there, and the parcels will be arriving here next week. So anyways, just for your information there, and probably a few others on here want to know. So anyways, next week they should show up there. So we'll start getting them out here sometime next week there. And besides that, I guess that's it. Very good, Robert. Thanks very much, Jeff, for what you do there, and thanks for coming in there to that there, and have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. Okay, with that, we're going to close the net, and I had 35, I think, here tonight, so that's a pretty good net there for this evening. And I would like to thank all the amateurs for tuning in tonight. We also want to thank the owners of the repeaters and the nodes, who all linked in tonight for helping us expand the area for local hams to check in. For more information about the Maritime Fusion Net, go to the Moncton Area ARC website at www.MikeAlphaAlphaRomeoCharlie.ca. That's MikeAlphaAlphaRomeoCharlie.ca. Click on Club Activities/Nets. Now that that is concluded, the CQ Maritime's room is now open for general use. This is Victor Echo 1, Juliet Bravo Lima, VE1 JBL, Jim out in Pignish Bridge, Nova Scotia. Signing off. 7-3 all.